I do know this, is that those of us that are involved have lengthy confidentiality agreements, and everything right now is being very tightly held, and there's a limit to what can and cannot be accessed, and engagement with the judge. I have seen letters that are being addressed to the judge, so I suspect that in that way, word can get to judge, but I don't know about any face-to-face.
Maybe we should explore the idea. It's certainly a huge economic issue for Mendocino County too.
Mm-hmm.
And along that lines, we just had a recent closure of our only major Doug fir processor, Harwood Products in Branscombe. So I would hope maybe the future in Mendocino County and the future plans would certainly include Harwood Products in that mill.
Well, it was a blow to me as well, because probably the vast majority of my Douglas fir logs get processed in that mill. And so we're very hopeful that they will come back up online.
Just a comment. I find it ironic, Supervisor Pinches, I can't get you to get to Sacramento, but you're volunteering to go to Texas. So, just a comment. Supervisor Smith.
Well, I could see some progress in Texas, where I don't see any progress in Sacramento. There's a clear answer
Michael,
to that question.
write that down, would you? Supervisor Smith.
Well, thank you, Mike, for being here. I want to just mention that the whereas, I think that is at the top of the second page of our copy of the resolution, really specifically is addressing the efforts that you put in with the Mendocino County Working Group with respect to Jackson, and you know, I know you spent countless hours on that process, so I think that I'm glad that statement is in there, because that to me addresses the concerns not only of you personally, but of your company, that go beyond the exact parameters of your job, and you're looking at forestry issues in a bigger context. And you really played a very valuable role, I think, in helping that group come together and keeping it on point, and actually coming to a conclusion that I think is really pivotal in changing the relationships of the various stakeholders within the community and changing the face of forestry in Mendocino County. So I want to thank you for that, and I think that is a tribute to you and to MRC. Along the lines of what you're talking about, the intent of this resolution, I see it also as sort of a letter of introduction to Humboldt County from Mendocino County with respect to your track record here, and I think that's a good start. I see this as a regional issue, as you addressed. It's actually, in the case of Redwood, a very narrow one. And the more that we can think of these issues regionally, I think is important. We're doing it with our integrated water planning, and any way that we can work collaboratively with Humboldt, and just the tone of this sort of I think sets that. It doesn't exactly address any specifics, but it sort of goes to that end. So I think that's a very good thing. I think, though, that the board needs to be mindful that, since this is a very confidential process, as you have described it, we're not privy to all of the information about other plans that are going forward, and we need to be mindful of that. And so we just need to be mindful as we go forward and sign on to this resolution, and I think it is a good one, and that we should. We need to understand that it's not a specific endorsement of your plan to the exclusion of any others, because we don't really know what those plans are in total.
We tried very carefully to make that clear and to not leave you boxed in.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I wholeheartedly support it. Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second for approval of this resolution. Any further discussion? Okay, I'll call for a vote on the item before us. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passed unanimously. And Mr. Janai, I will proudly put my name to this, and please keep us informed if your company feels additional support is needed from us, and we'll do what we can to help you out to send Johnny to Texas.
Thank you so very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Mike.
Congratulations, Mike, on the presidency.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
And
Thanks again.
one last item, please take our support back to your corporate situation, that we truly value you in our county.
Thank you, I certainly will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, a happier note.
You know, I want to, if I can make a comment further on that, I think it's relevant to this subject about
Sure,
when
go right ahead.
Supervisor Delbar first come on this board. It was with his support in his deciding vote that built the distribution center out in the Cal Pala area, which in turn is really the glue that keeps Mendocino Redwood here. I mean, with the contract with Home Depot. And I just want to acknowledge that if Supervisor Delbor wouldn't have been on the board, or if he'd have took the week off or something, this whole economic process in the benefit of Mendocino Redwood products being here in Mendocino County had a lot to do with that distribution center there. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, Supervisor Delbar. It's not gone unnoticed.
Thank you, Supervisor, for those great comments. To the CEO's office, an item we continued this morning for a little revamping, item 8B, adoption of the board action plan for 2008 and the master calendar. Ms. Glossi.
Okay, you should all have copies with the revisions on it, and I'll go over them real quickly, and then I think we need to make sure that not only is it the action plan, but the associated changes to the master schedule and the budget calendar, which is included in this. So, the changes that were made based on board direction this morning are on the third page. The work session in June was changed to the 17th, which is a Tuesday, but it's 1 week later than it was before. And the adoption of the proposed budget is June 24th. The public hearing on the draft Ukiah Valley Area Plan and the EIR was moved from the 14th, which apparently conflicted with NACO, to the 21st. And the workshop, which would have been a couple-hour workshop, was moved from a Monday to a Tuesday. And in adopting this action plan, you would be vacating Tuesday the 15th and adding Tuesday the 29th. And the discussion on strategic planning would be placed in the afternoon on the 29th. So you end up with one less Monday and shifting your July meetings to the 4th and 5th Tuesdays from the 3rd and 4th Tuesdays. The other change was to add the October 7th off-site meeting, which is on your master schedule, and it was not reflected here.
Okay, to the board, questions, concerns, action item. Questions?
Looks good to me.
Looks good.
So,
Any additional?
no, and we also know that this is a guideline, things do change, and, you know, we adapt and all of that as we go along. But, you know, it's helpful for staff to be able to have a sense of where we're heading with this. So the only thing would be to clarify the associated changes to the master schedule and the budget calendar.
Okay.
So I'll make that as a recommended motion. We accept the revised January 15th Board Action Plan for 2008 with the associated changes to the master calendar.
Been moved. Do I hear a second?
I second.
Second. Any discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion before us to adopt the board action plan and the master calendar for 2008, say aye.
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 All those opposed? Passes unanimously.